that was one of the things that I really recognized about this album is that there seems to be a real harmony to it, and I think that really, from my perspective on listening to the band over the years, that this is a case where all the gears just seem to fit, and therefore, you end up giving a really good product when you have that atmosphere. Is that correct on that?
Yeah. I mean, we were lucky, as I said, that in a way that we went through all the hardships and the breakup in the past, because we grew older and wiser. We learned a lot from our mistakes. I guess the lessons were learned, and hopefully, this will also last long into the future. Before we start making mistakes again, if we start to forget. Because success can make you blind, and that's how it was in the old days. We were younger, we were more frivolous, and how can I say, rebellious and hard-headed, and nowadays you think twice, sometimes 3 times, 4 times before you open your mouth in order not to hurt anybody's feelings and not rock the boat, and in the end it's good to have someone who can be the bad guy because we wanted him to be the bad guy, kind of in this case it's Chris, who slams the hammer down on if there's some subject which is indecisive,
Right. Well, I tell you, let's talk about Hoodoo here for a second. Obviously, this is an important album for the band because it, number one, it returns full circle, personnel-wise, to a pivotal and vibrant time in the band's history. With this album, Hoodoo, do you think that the band feels any pressure with this album, or do you think that it's a case of being back in the saddle and the satisfaction of knowing that you've delivered a really great album? No,
in fact, we really feel good about it. In the beginning, as all artists, we have our doubts and insecurities, because in our heads we have a vast ocean of ideas which were not still unused, which is a good thing too. But in the end, you can only put so many songs on an album. You can only put so many ideas onto one song, and otherwise you start getting too complicated. And for this kind of music, we really wanted to go back to the simple days of songwriting, one vice at a time. For me, one vice at a time is still the main guiding light when I think about what songs fit for Krokus, because by that time we had grown as a songwriting team. I'm talking about Chris, Fernando, and myself, and my all-time favorite song is still today Long Stick Goes Boom. It's the battering ram in our shows. It opens the set, and it has everything in there, from riffs to bombastic sound and good lyrics, bad boy lyrics, and it's just where it's at, where it had to be for this band. And although now Hoodoo doesn't contain much in the form of similar songs to Long Stick Goes Boom, from the bombastic side and the mega riff stuff, we kind of toned down. Hoodoo is slightly lighter, but at the same time very powerful, and we have a couple of very powerful fast numbers on it. and even the cover "Born to Be Wild" is played with a certain. It's totally crocusized and ends with a climax that isn't to be found on the original song itself.
Very true. And that was one thing I was going to say. With Born to Be Wild taken into consideration, you guys always seem to pick, when you did a cover, it was always a song that you personalized so that when people heard that, rather than, let's say, Ballroom Blitz or, let's see, what was another one?
American Woman.
American Woman.
Yeah. And then we did also You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. We did that, but Chris wasn't in the band when we did that. But we really crocusized that one up too. And what else did we do? Stay Awake All Night.
Stay Awake All Night. That's it. I love that song. That to me, especially from Fernando's end. He just really took that song and reconstructed it as, almost his signature, riffs and the way that he plays the lead. And to me, a band that can take a cover song and make it their own, I mean, that is almost as impressive as writing a good song itself.
Well, that's the challenge. That's where the kick is. Otherwise, why cover a song? If you're just going to copy it.
Yeah, and that brings to mind another song from one of my favorites. You did "School's Out" by Alice Cooper, and time I heard,
that was the only one to chart. That song
was a great verse. And I know that you would, just to lightly touch on this, you said that if Krokus was to ever be covered by another artist, that you would choose Alice Cooper to cover, let's see, what was it, Bad Boys from One Vice at a Time.
Bad Boys Ragdolls, yeah.
Yeah.
That would suit him. It would suit him. Anything with the word bad on it suits Alice.
Yeah.